now. Well, I think if you want to have the uncomfortable conversation about Islam, it is sort of conducive to pedophilia. I mean, I don't necessarily think that you can reduce it to the idea that, oh, well, just because they happen to be Pakistani, British men.
Ask her again about the white school shooters.
Where I read the Quran.
Answer that question.
It's nice to have a conspiracy theorist on the line. It's always good fun. I hate to pull rank at you and sound like a twat, but
not a conspiracy
both of my PhDs
theory,
are in philosophy of religion,
Quran.
and I think I'm slightly more qualified to speak about the Quran than you are, and to suggest even for a moment that that document allows for, what it does is condemn non-consensual marriage and non-consensual sexual contact. Like,
well, I'd look up the rates of child brides then, and I'd see
the
what
real
countries
risk you
they're
have in
most
the US
prevalent
isn't multiculturalism. It's a multi-billionaire running the biggest social media planet, one of the biggest in the world, which has turned into an echo chamber of your ridiculous ideology. And the fact that you're telling us all and telling the British public, who we're proudly multicultural, as someone that was brought up in multicultural working class Birmingham, I can tell you for sure that there's not you won't find a Muslim there who's read the Quran and went, oh, you know what, it didn't rule out sexual violence, so I might just crack on with that. I don't know what planet you're living on or what you're smoking, but I'd suggest that you do a course in religious studies before you start chatting.
Well, thank you for the ad hominem attacks. I'm sure that means you have a really strong argument, but I think the young working class girls who probably grew up in the same areas that you did would beg to differ. I don't understand what you're saying. I've read the Quran. I've seen what's in there. Even if you don't think that my interpretation of the Quran is correct, I would point you to, I don't know, what countries have the most issues when it comes to child brides and raping of young girls and children. It's obviously a systemic cultural problem with Islam. It's not a problem that is contained or unique to the West. And I don't know, last time I checked, this whole grooming gang phenomenon is what contained primarily to Muslim men, and it really only started when you started seeing mass migration waves.
I just think this is so dangerous. This is so dangerous what you're saying. I mean, okay, so in the United Kingdom, 1 in 3 school children.
I think it's dangerous to be importing men from cultures who are willing to rape young women.
So 1 in 3 school children are sexually harassed on the way to school when they're in their school uniform. That is not done by, to use your language, by just Muslim men in the United Kingdom. That is done by all men. That is an institutional misogyny problem. And I think we're doing the victims of sexual harassment, sexual assault and rape a disservice by continuously just talking about Muslims as a monolith, as if they're the only perpetrators of sexual assault. It's an incredibly dangerous thing to say.
I think all sexual assault and rape is bad. That doesn't mean that we should continue to import people who have a higher proclivity to